Good afternoon, students. So yesterday we start with the autoimmunity. Now we start with the mechanism of autoimmune disorders. Okay, I hope yesterday you understood autoimmunity, that is a resistance power which is developed against the self antigen. And which self antigen? That is nothing but the autologous antigen. Since embryonic prey, they are hidden or covered, and that's why once they exposed to immunocompetent cell, they recognize by our immunocompetent cell as a foreign one and start to produce the immune response. So there are the few mechanisms by which we can understand the how autoimmune diseases are occur in the human being. So main important mechanism, which is the genuine or which is the main mechanism of autoimmune diseases, that is the hidden or sequestered nature of antigen that is responsible for the autoimmunity. Hidden or sequestered nature of antigen is the main cause of autoimmune disease. Second one is the altered form of self antigen. Third one, that is the cross reacting antigen, that is the molecular mimicry. And fourth one is the loss of immune regulation, or we refer as a polyclonal B cell activation. And last immune mechanism, that is the inappropriate expression of the MSC class 2, that is a class 2 MSC 2. So now we start with the first mechanism, that is the hidden or sequestered nature of antigen. See here, for example, islands protein, since embryonic plate they are capsulated, and that's why our immunocompetent cell recognize this islands protein like this one. Is it clear? But once they are islands protein is damaged, that is the capsule broken. So once the capsule broken, what happened here? They exposed to our immunocompetent cell, and where they are exposed to our immunocompetent cell, that is in blood. And that time our immunocompetent cells such as macrophages, T cells, B cells recognize them as a foreign particle and start to produce the immune response. Is it clear? And this immune response, either humoral or cellular immune response, react with that islands protein specifically an observable manner. And that's why our islands proteins are damaged. And once the islands proteins are damaged, that damage or that injury to the eyes is not by any bacteria, fungi. It is the autoimmune response which is formed by our own body is responsible for damaging the islands protein. And that's why such diseases, such disorder we refer as a autoimmune diseases. So autoimmune disease is a group of disorder which is due to the autoimmune response, that is a resistance power which is formed or which are developed against the cell protein. Is it clear? So this is the mechanism by which our immunocompetent cell produce immune response that we refer as autoimmunity against the cell protein. With cell protein, the main mechanism is the hidden and sequestered nature of antigen. Hidden or sequestered nature of antigen, because since embryonic period, our immunocompetent cell recognize this autologous antigen as a hidden or the capsulated form, and but once the capsule or once that hidden nature is broken up, then they recognize them as a foreign particle and start to produce the immune response, and that is the responsible for the damage. So this is in short about the first mechanism, that is the hidden or sequestered nature of antigen. Now the next mechanism, that is the altered form of self antigen. See here, this is our normal tissue, and but once this normal tissue is exposed to the either physical, chemical or biological agent, that tissue proteins are modified. Before exposure, this tissue antigen like this. After exposure, that tissue antigen change. And once the surface protein change, that's why our immunocompetent since embryonic period recognize these tissue proteins. But once they change, our immunocompetent, what they recognize as a foreign particle, because normal nature is altered. That's why the second mechanism is altered form of self antigen. Altered form, once our normal proteins are changed, that changed protein recognized by our immunocompetent cell as a foreign one and start to produce the immune response, and that immune response attacks the tissue antigen, and once the tissue antigen attack, tissue damage start, and that damage turn into the disease. Again, this disease is not caused by the bacteria and fungi, it is by the autoimmunity, and that's why such mechanism or such disorder we refer as an autoimmune disease. This is the second mechanism of the autoimmune diseases. First is the hidden sequester nature of antigen, second is the alter form of self-antigen. Now third is the cross-reacting antigen, that is the molecular mimicry. This is the third mechanism by which we face the problem of autoimmune diseases. See here, these are the tissue antigen on left side. See here, that is a myelin based protein. In host, influenza virus attack. Influenza virus possesses the P33 protein. Once the influenza virus enter, our immune system start to produce the immune response against that influenza virus, and by that immune response, influenza virus is eliminated, destroyed. But beside destruction of the influenza virus, this immune response also attack the myelin based protein which are present in central nervous system. Is it clear? So that immune response, then question come, why this immune response attack our myelin based protein? Myelin based proteins are not hidden and sequestered, they are not the alter form of self antigen, but the P3 proteins of influenza and myelin based protein share the same EP2, and that's why whatever immune response which is formed against the influenza virus start to eliminate the myelin based protein, and that's why again the demyelination of the myelin sheath is by the autoimmune response, and that's why we refer this as an autoimmune disorder. And what is the mechanism? It is not the autologous antigen, it is not the alter form, but what is that? P3 protein and myelin based protein share the same EP2, and that's why whatever immune response which is formed against the P3 protein attack the myelin based protein, and demyelination start, that leads to the autoimmune disease. Second example, that is a rheumatic fever. Streptococci attacks streptococcal. See here, next example I showed you the diagrammatic. When the streptococci enter, the again immune response is formed against the M protein in the host. That M proteins destroy the streptococci but simultaneously attacks the heart. Okay, and attacks the heart, and that's why there is an myocardial infarction. So today we discuss this two mechanism, that is three mechanism, and remaining one we discuss tomorrow. Okay, so okay, bye, take care.